Oh, baby doll. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, may the force and the PSA 10s be with me, if you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, just give me a little heads up real quick. Just went over and got some stuff off. Actually, just got this one lot off of Facebook Marketplace today. And just kind of wanted to share with you guys what I got. Kind of look it over and then talk to you a little bit about what I do. Text, what's going on, Big Daddy? Look at that beautiful thing. Ooh, baby. Anyway, just going over how we decide whether we want to put something in for grading. So if you're thinking about grading something, this is a great opportunity for you guys to take a look at how we break it down. I have my little sheet back here that I use when I'm debating about grading. I said debating, never mind. All right, not Rashad Bateman, if you know what I'm talking about. And if you've been with Big Papa long enough, you know. But anyway, just want to go through these. I got 25 or 26 cards. And this stuff is hard to come by. 1977 Topps. Star Wars. Not the huge one, not number 1 Luke. But we got some pretty good Lukes in here. I'm not too familiar with it. Again, this is kind of me just going off the cuff a little bit. I'm learning about some of these non-sport card things. But anyway, just want to kind of go over with you guys a little bit. A couple of things that I do here is I need to get a centering tool, but I just use the old handy dandy. You have one at the house if you have a child. I don't have a child, but I am a child. Sometimes I just use a regular old ruler. And if you kind of come over here, take a look at the, if you look at the sides there, like just say the corner or the side there, we line it up. Looks pretty good there. It's going to be about 3 millimeters on that side. We come over to this side and it's going to be about, let's see, about 3 millimeters. So centering on that, top to bottom, left to right, looks fairly decent. I don't think that PSA is going to crush us on this one. So let's go ahead and take it out of the protector there. First thing I always look for is centering. Second thing I look for is corners. And this bad boy has some corner stuff. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's not bad for being 47 years old. I'm 47 years old. I was born in 76, so. But corners aren't too shabby, man. Surface, nothing really big on the surface. There might be a little bit of ding right here. You can see that. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. A little bit of a ding right there. I'm getting a black light, which will help me out a little bit more. The back looks pretty nice. I'm going to go out on a limb. I think the centering is good. I think the corners are great. I'm going to say a PSA 8. And I think that's being conservative. I think there's a shot at a PSA 9. I think without that ding, without that little ding right here, I think it's a PSA 9. But there's a small ding right there. So when you start to think about, should I send this off for grading? This is what I do. So I look at Series 1, 1977 Star Wars Topps, card number 2. Okay? What I want to do is I want to look that up on my phone. I did not do this. I probably should have done this a little bit earlier. But I'm going to go ahead and go to eBay. 1977 Topps Star. Actually, I did look it up. Sorry. All right. So you start to look in here. You got a couple of different things. I looked up sold it things. So I'm looking for the actual card number 2 with the blue background. That is not it. That would be beautiful to have number 1. Number 1 goes for 175 roll. If you see that, the Luke Skywalker. Oh, that's not just the card. That's the whole set. Let's see if we can just go ahead and throw that in there. C-3PO and R2-D2. It's not coming back here. You know, I would be a little bit smarter than this and tried this before I freaking got online, but oh well. All right, let's go ahead and put in C3PO. All right, there it is right there. All right. What we want to do first off is we want to kind of go over and figure out what this thing sells for raw. If I was to sell this thing raw, again, raw has different things based on the, well, frick, dude, it's not going to happen. There's one with the PSA 8. PSA 8 of this card sold for $40.77. So that's a good idea. I think it's going to be a PSA 8. That's my guess. So on here, what I do is I have all my cards. These are all my numbers over here. I haven't put the card in there yet. I see what it sells for raw. Selling for raw in near mint condition. If you look at that one right there, sold on February 23rd last week. Sold for $14.99 best offer. So probably less than $14.99. So what I would do is I would put down here in this section right here, raw, $14.99. The sell-through rate, STR, is there are 236 of them that sold and 1,300 that are listed. So the sell-through rate is about 20%. Then I take that $14.99 and I add $25 to it. Yeah, which color border does make a difference. The blue border is series 1, so that's always a little bit better. So 14, let's say $15 plus $25. 15 plus 25 is $40. Okay. My PSA guess is a 8. The comp on PSA 8 is $40. I always am a little bit better at my guesses than the actual card is. So I always say PSA guess -1. So I want to see the PSA guess -1. So I want to see what this sells in a 7. Since I think it's going to be an 8, what would it sell for in a 7? So I'm going to put in PSA 7, see if we can limit that down at all. I can't find that exact same card. There it is. PSA 7 actually sells for $49.95. Hey, it sells for more than PSA 8. Again, you're always going to see more money for buy it nows than you do on auctions. But this sold 2 weeks ago for $50. So if I send it into to PSA to get graded, I have the collector's choice. It only cost me $19. So $15 plus $19, we have to ship it both ways. So let's go ahead and say each one's going to cost me about $1 or $2 more. So let's say 15 plus 21 is 36. If I can sell it for 49, that's a better deal. You're like, but what about the eBay fees? Well, I'd have to pay the eBay fees on 15 as well. So this is $49 or $50 plus shipping. So in this case, this card I will be sending in. Because again, I think it's going to be an 8. But even if it becomes a 7, I'll be making about $10 more than I would by selling it raw. So that kind of gives you your idea. You guys can kind of see that. Let me go ahead and see what I can see what it looks like at an 8. And then we'll go look through all the other ones. I won't take all the time on each one of these. All right, like I said, PSA 8 was $41. That's the real comp. But if you take a look here, there's one for $70 that sold buy it now. So on a PSA 8, it's a $70. Let's say for some reason we hit the lottery and it becomes a PSA 9. Let's go. It becomes $180. So I'm going to go ahead and see it, send it in and see if it rocks and rolls. So that's the way that I go through to figure out if I'm going to send something into PSA. Is I take a look at it. What do I think it's going to be? Then I subtract 1 and I get the comps on raw and the comps on my PSA guess -1. And then I add in my $25 to get it graded. So if raw plus 25 is less than what I believe it's going to grade -1, I send it in. I know that's just math for you. But anyway, that's that. Here we go. Let's take a look at the other ones we got here. Now, This one right here is actually a pretty good one. Any ones that you can find with Harrison Ford on it is going to be a good one. Han Solo's Space. Again, it's really nicely centered. The corners aren't bad on it. This up top right corner might be a little bit dinged. Again, I'm going to be conservative. I think this one might grade a 9. I haven't taken it out yet, so I need to take a look at the surface. But it's really nicely centered, maybe a little bit low. The cards are different, Tex. On the orange cards have different colors on them, or different pictures on them. There is a bit of a wrinkle right down here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I think that's going to take it at least down to an 8, possibly down to a 7. I'm still going to send it in. I might try some Kurt's card care on it. It's a little bit of a notch here. This might actually go down to a 6, but it's such a really nice card. I mean, it is the comps on this one are pretty good. The number 1 is the best, but this number 4, I think it is. Anything with Han Solo is it, and Darth Vader usually gets a premium. But yeah, there's a little bit of a, you guys can see it right down here, right underneath Space. There's a little bit of a wrinkle. We'll see what we can do with that, but that's going to knock it down, I think, 2 spots. And then just the edges, I think, there's another one up here. This might go down to a 6. Actually, I might sell this raw. I'm going to wait and take a look at, looks like there's some divots in here too. I'm going to wait. I got a black light coming, so I'm going to take that black light and look at the surface. This might be one that I send in a bunch of stuff into Probstein as well. I might send this one into Probstein and have him sell it on his eBay. It's a really nicely centered card, really nice condition for the age, but it's not going to grade an 8 or a 9. It's probably going to be a 7 or a 6, which means it's going to be a 6 or a 5. So I'm going to keep that one back in the back. Another good one, again, Darth Vader in it. Number 7. The only problem with this, well, the biggest problem with this is the same thing that happened with my dadgum Nolan Ryan. Is that thing is so off-centered, there's no way I'm grading this one. I don't even need to look at it. Don't even need to take it out. This one you'll see on Probstein in about 2 weeks. But it's got great corners. The corner, let's see what the corner looks like here. Let's put some more light on it. Not bad. The corners are good. The edges are good. It looks like through here. But again, I'm not going to grade it, so I'm not going to take it out. This is a nice one. Again, Skywalker again. Number 57. But it's just so far off. It's not so far off center. I'd say just the centering probably gets it down to an 8, possibly a 7. So I probably need to take a look at this one, because I think even an 8 would be. An 8 would be. What do you think on this one, Tex? I don't know if you're still in here. What do you think that centering would do to us? Would it take us all the way down to a 7? Everything else looks good. It looks a little dirty. But, I mean, the corners are nice. Surface is nice. There's a little bubble right here. I don't know if you guys see it. I think it's probably a 6. So I'd probably just it's not centered. I don't really want to grade things that aren't centered after the Nolan Ryan debacle. I sold the Nolan Ryan for $100, by the way, which is not bad. Sold the LeBron for $500. Our guy, my boy Scotty, he's going to get it. I think he's going to crack it back out and put it into PSA. But I met him by the Orlando airport. He might even be watching. I don't know if he's watching. I gave him a link to our thing, but yeah, that one's not going to be graded. It's just too far off center to be graded. So we're going to leave that one to Probstein. This one is a lot off center, right, left to right. Sorry, right to left. You look over here. This side over here is a little bit. You want to see the back? Well, the backs don't really do anything. The backs are just part of a poster on the back. When you put them all together, it makes a big poster. So the backs on these, I don't think really matter too much. I could be wrong. I need to do a little bit more. I mean, again, this is my first Star Wars. So this is my first time going through stuff that's non-sports cards, really. I don't know anything about Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic. But yeah, the backs on these, they all have different backs. They have different pictures that put together a poster or something like that. Some of them have blank backs. But I think that one's going to go to Probstein as well. I might send it over to Greg Morris Cards. I'm going to talk to him about, because he's done some stuff with Star Wars before. But again, this one I think is a little bit too off-centered. In the top left corner has some issues. Now, that white little part there is part of the stars that you see. But it just looks a little soft. I think this one would grade an 8. Just looking at it through the thing. So that one might be a one I look at. Let me write down 8 on that one. Number 9. Put down PSA 8. And I'll go back and look at it later. So what I would do again is I would look at a PSA 8 and a PSA 7. Because again, yeah, I agree. I would look at it a PSA 7 and see if there's any money to be made. The numbers really don't matter unless you get it up into the big ones on a 7, 8, or 9, obviously a 10. But the smaller ones, you really got to get a 9 to make any money. And this one's too off-centered to get a 9. So again, I'll probably send that into Probstein. This one's not bad at all. This one's really nicely centered. It looks really nice. This is a better one. Number 12. The lower numbers are a little bit more. It's kind of weird, different from like Topps, regular baseball Topps, where your high numbers are your money makers. Anything with these, like with C3PO and with R2D2 in it, are good. I don't have the C3PO error, if you know what I'm talking about, the pornographic one. But I do want to take a look at this one because this one looks like it could be a grading candidate. And then you see the surface. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. There's some marks right there. You guys can see it right there where the light is. 2 big notches right in the middle. Man, this one was a good one. But those 2 hiccups right there are going to knock it down to probably a 7. Man, it's so beautiful, though. I can't believe these cards are so nice looking. This corner down here is a little soft as well, so that'll probably take us back over, and I'll probably take us back over to sending it to Probstein as well. So we got 1 to grade. That's not good news. I want more. I want it all. This one's really nicely centered. I like it. Corners are decent. This one up here might be a little bit white. This one might be a little bit white. I think this one could grade well depending on the surface. That is going to be a common theme here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What is that? Is that something? Right down there in the bottom, right underneath the S. Right underneath the trademark. I think that might be a little bump, but I don't think that's going to kill it too much. This one might be a candidate for 9. Ooh, look at that. They have a different thing on the back. Corners are great on that one. This one's going to PSA. I think everything's good on it except for that little bump on the surface. And honestly, I think I've seen some things. I've looked at some things. I'm okay with that, Tex. I got a nice price on all of these. So I'll be okay. Greg Morris might be the better play on the older stuff, I think. So I think when I get stuff graded, I might send it into Probstein. I don't know if PSA will crush us on that. I think this might still get a 9. So I think this is going to get a 9. I'm going to put down 9 on this one. So 13, I'm going 9. I think it's nice in the front. It's nice in the back. Maybe a little off center left or right. But up and down, it looks good. Sick nasty. Corners look good. Edges look good. We got 2 to grade. 20 something more to go. Great centering on this one. Great centering on this one. It's all going to come down to the surface on all of these, I think. Not all of them, because some of them, the centering is just rough. And then there's one sticker that, oh, there it is. That is nasty. That one might just chop you all the way down to like a 5. Oh, there's the same thing on the bottom. Look at that thing on the bottom, too. It's like somebody picked it up like this one. Yeah, it is a little off center on the back. I think that it still goes to a 9, Tex. Again, my guess, I always subtract 1. And I'm learning. I think it's a high enough thing so that even if it gets a 7, I'll still get my money back. I think it has an opportunity to be an 8, though, or a 9. I think it has an opportunity to get a 9. I don't think it's crazy off center. I do think they'll probably mark it down a little bit for being off center on the back. See, now we're back to this stuff. Hunted by the Sand People. This one looks really nice. The only thing I saw right off the bat is that fisheye right above the E. There's a little fisheye right above the E. That's probably going to knock this thing down. That'll cost you about a point probably, irregardless of anything else. Centering on this one is a little bit right to left, but I don't think it's going to be big enough that people are going to worry about it. Let me look at the surface. Let's see. We might be able to salvage this if we can get a really good surface on it. But I don't think this one is even worthy of getting an 8 on. If we get an 8 on it, I don't know that we're going to make any money. There's a little something right there above the N in Hunted. A little banger right there. I think you can see it right there. And then, whoa, I didn't do that. Right by the Star Wars, there's a bubble. That one's going to auction. See, I like to get this stuff done now so I don't send it in and spend the $25 and then sell it for $10 when I could have sold it for $10 without the $25. So I've just saved myself $25, $50, $75, $100, $175 right now just by sitting here and talking to Tex. Tex, you saved me $175. I haven't sent your Largent yet. I will get to it. This one's off center, right to left, but this card is really nice because you have all 3 of the main characters on it. You got Han Solo, you got C-3PO, and you have Obi-Wan. So this one right here, even though it's off center, even at an 8, I think I can make money on it. So hopefully we have no surface problems and we can try to get an 8 on the centering here. A little bit of a bubble up above the J in injured. You see it right there. But I think, no. Right there, below the T on the edge. That one's enough. That one's rough. God, dog. Man. If I sell them all raw, I still think I'll double my money, to be honest with you. So I'm not real worried about it. I just want to get one that just pops out a 9. And I can say, yes, my time was worth it today. But anyway, we keep moving. Another pretty big, it's a nice picture. Got a lot of this star. Again, same 3 stars there. Luke, Ben Kenobi. It is right to left. So if you see it's a little bit tighter here than it is here. If you see that, this centering on the left here is a lot bigger than the centering over there on the right. Still a decent card. Again, anything in a 9 is going to get you over $100. It's going to be about $120 on these cards that are coming in these numbers right here. So if I can get it to a 9, would be good. I think 9 just happens to do with the surface. I'm going to hit these again with a black light, but there's your problem right there. That upper left-hand corner's got a ding in it. That's going to knock you down 2 points right there. And OB1, IB1 to not send it in. Off to auction. Great centering. Looks a little diamond cut, to be honest with you. This one looks a little bit high over here, but down over here, it looks like it's kind of diamond cut where it's kind of tilted a little bit, kind of like this. Yeah, 7 at best. I agree with you. This is not a really nice card, so I think that this has to get a 9 for me to be worried about it and spend the time on putting it in. Sick nasty. But it does look a lot diamond cut now more I look at it. You see the difference over here. Diamond cut means that the top part over here has a lot more room than the top part over here. So you see how the line kind of goes up there? It wasn't cut well, which kind of stinks because this is a really nice looking card. That bottom left-hand corner would be, even without the diamond cut, I think it'd still be an 8 at best. So with the diamond cut, I think it's probably a 6 at best. So off to auction. I'm going to look at Greg Morris cards, though. I think that's probably the best thing. For older cards, I think he's probably better than Probstein. Not going to look at this one way off center to the left. It's got what I'm going to call it Nolan Ryan centering. That's 71 Nolan Ryan I had. That screwed me over, gave me a 4.5. Lost me about $40 or $50 on it. Oh, well. Top corner's a little rough, too. So we're going to leave that one there. Won't even pull it out. Sick nasty. This one's not bad. I don't know what that is right there on the... Is that a white line in there? I think it might just be a cat hair or something. Need to pull that out and see what it is. Yeah, it looks like it's just a scratch on the surface of the top loader. This one looks really nice, actually. Then you look at the surface. Then you pull it out and look at the surface. That surface has got bumps and bruises all over the place. Look at that right there. Bunch of stuff right there. Man, depressing. I was hoping to come on here and say, look at all these 10s that we got on here, boys and girls. And we found 2 out of like 30 so far that are possible ones to turn in. It's really nice centered, though. Really nicely centered. Just a couple of divots in the thing. Still, I mean, I think all of these are like maybe 10 or 15 bucks, you know, on a good day. So this one's too far left or right, even though it does have, I think it has Leia in it. Oh, that's a huge. You see that crease right there? Yeah, that one's definitely, I don't know, that one's going to get $1. Look at these guys. If you're under 18, don't look right now. Stormtroopers, attack! Nice centering. Top to bottom, left to right, nice. Card number 42. Let's see what you got on the things. Man. Actually, you know what? This isn't too bad. There's a couple of things up here. You guys see it? I think it'd still be an 8. Even with that little bubble right there. Just because I'm tired of saying I'm not going to get it graded, I might send this one in to get graded and say, screw all of y'all. We're going for the 8 on this one. So number 42, I'm going to put down 8 and do some research on it. So right now I have 9, 13, and 42. Is that right? 9, 13, 42. I did put down 2 as well. Okay, 2, 9, 13, and 42. I put 9 over here, I think. There it is. I do some research on the old cards. I think it's design, yeah. A lot of them have these little white spots, so it looks like the design is there. So some of them put the white little star on the edge, but they're not messed up. They're pretty good. I mean, they were in a shoebox. This guy's buddy found them in the attic in a shoebox of his dad's house. So this one's a little bit left or right, but it's got Darth Vader in it. It's got good graphic. I mean, it's got a good story on it. So it might be worth taking a look, even though it's a little off center. This one might pull an 8. It's got decent edges and sides. It's got decent surface. I like this one. It's nice coloring in the back, too. We got another one for possibility. I don't think the centering takes it down 2 spots. I think it takes it down 1. So that's possible. That might be that's me at a 9, so I think it's probably going to grade an 8. So I'm going to put 9 on number 45. Again, I'm just trying to get something I can send off to be graded. Let me lose money instead of saying, no, these all suck. What are you doing? They're all in great condition for 77s, you know. Another Luke Skywalker. Again, good content whenever you got Luke on there. The Stormtroopers aren't going to get you good content, but any Luke stuff is good content. This one's centered well. Corners are a little bit rougher on this one. If you take a look at this top corner over here, this top corner has some problems. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Try to get it in there. It's not crazy. Yeah. There's some problems here. Oh, man. That one has edge problems right there. If you see that little edge problem, I think that knocks it down a little bit too much. I'm going to put 7 on this and see what it sells for in a 7. I love these cards so much. I was really hopeful that the surface would be a little bit better on these. Let me look at that in a 7. I don't think I'll send it in, but I just want to take a look at it. Got a bunch of good characters on here. Great centering on this one as well. I think it's a little bit, it doesn't have the same pop as the other ones. It doesn't have a great picture on there, but anytime you can get a Leia on there, you know. Leia, you got me on my knees, Leia. But there's a big old wax stain. Look at that wax stain right there, boys. You guys read at the bottom there. We are on draft night. We're gonna crank Big Papa Breaks open. I think I might be able to get the wax stain off. Might be able to wax that thing off. But that wax stain is prevalent. Yeah. I love the way it looks. All these are really nice. I might just sell them as a lot and see if I can double my money and move on. But I don't know. There's a small opportunity for like one or two of these to get a 9. And if one or two get a 9, it's just more fun for me, you know? I got to take a look at the wax on this one. Let me put wax down. Let me just put wax down and see if I can get it taken care of. I got a recruit call or texting me right now. I just take one of these little things and put on there wax. I think I can get the wax off with a sock or something. If I get the wax off of that one, I think it might be able to get to a 9. Might be able to get to a 9. Now they're really nicely centered. I mean, these are all nicely centered. I remember we took that 1983 Topps or 1984 Topps football set, and we bought the whole brand new factory set sealed, and none of them were centered. This is 1977. These things are beautifully centered. The top right corner looks already a little janky. Again, it's hard to tell, but oh no, you can tell really, really nicely with this. You guys might not be able to see it, but right in there. Tough corner there. Got a bubble right there, right by Leia's shoulder. Man. And if my Brock Purdy goes and gets a dadgum 6 when I thought it was a 10, I'm really off on some of these. That one's beautiful, though. Oy. That one's nice. Tough corner. It might go to an 8. You know, I'm going to look it up. I don't know how much that bubble will go. That bubble might take it down 2 points, but in the corner in the bubble, I'm going to look at it in an 8. And just trying to find some that might pop off. This is actually, these two right here, I think the second one, this one's a little bit better because it's what we call a shadow. It's got the shadow of thing in the back, but this one's a little diamond cut, it feels like. But I think that it's nicely centered other than a little bit of diamond cut. The surface is good on this one. I'll send it in. It's got a tough left top corner. None of these are going to get a 10. Yeah. It's got a big wax stain. If I can get the wax off of this there, it has a shot now. It's got that little thing up there too. A little bit too much. Dang it. That's not the better one. The better one's right behind it. This one's pretty good. This number 64 card is pretty good. And again, it's got nice centering. Nice eye appeal. I just hope it has nice surface appeal, if you know what I'm talking about. And I think you do. All right, let's get out of there. I got these new, I didn't put these in sleeves, by the way. This is how I got them today. Oh, man. If I can learn how to get that wax off there. Wax on, wax off. Where is dadgum Karate Kid when I need him? It's got little 2 bumps there, too. See those 2 bumps right by my finger there? Plus a huge wax stain. I was watching Little Victories or whatever. If you guys haven't got him on YouTube, take a look at him. He does a lot of things, but he showed he took a sock out, a dress sock, put his hand in it, and then he got the wax off. I mean, if you use a sock to wax off, it sometimes it can work out. It's orange peel. Could be. I do live in the citrus capital of the world, I think. Florida Natural Orange Juice. Their world headquarters is about 3 miles from my house. Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill and Star Wars. right to left here. I don't think it's big enough to take off 2 points. So if it's perfect, it'll be a 9. I think this one might be good in an 8. So I'm going to look and see if we can manage to get a good surface. And that would be a no. There's a bump there. There's a bump up there. I remember back in the day, I'd be like, oh man, this is awesome. Look how centered it is. That's great. Send it in. And then I'd come back and they'd be giving me 5s. I'm like, why do I get a 5 on this? It looks perfect. I didn't look at surface at all. All I cared about were corners and centering, which really is what people care about the most, I think. I've been putting them in the wrong place. Oh boy. Mixed up my stacks. $47. Oh no, I didn't. 52. We're going to try it out. We got 9, 9, 13, 2, 9, 13, 42, 45. Oh, we got it. All right, now to the stickers. When I saw this thing in the dadgum listing, I was like, oh, a baby. It's off-centered. But I was like, this is going to be my moneymaker right here. Because even in like, I think a 9, it was like $400. But then I looked at that corner. Corner's not horrible, but it's pretty bad. I won't tell you what I paid for these, even though probably nobody's ever going to watch this, but you and me, Tex. Looks like there's like a line across there. Look at that. There's like 2 lines going across. It's a sticker, so it's in really good condition for being 47 years old. But that corner up there is going to knock it off 1 spot. Those lines are probably going to knock it off at 2 other spots. I think it's probably a 7 or a 6. And honestly, it wouldn't be too bad in a 7 or a 6. It might sell better than it raw if you put it into a slab. Might be a good SGC nomination with the tucks around that thing. But it is off center. If you see over here, you got a little bit more room than over here. We'll see. Let me put down 7 on that. Sticker 8. That's the next one. Sticker 8. Grand Moff Tarkin. This one is a good one too, but it is way off center. Look how far off center that is. But it's in actually really good condition. I got to take a look and see, because they all have these 2 lines on it. I got to take a look at the PSA ones and see if they have the lines on it, if it's just standard. Because maybe like the PSA 9s and PSA 8s might all have that anyway. And I might actually pull out a 7, or who knows, maybe even an 8 on that Luke Skywalker. But if you see that, those lines are on there, man. See that line on his forehead? I got a line on my forehead too. I don't talk too much. But man, the card is sweet. Other than that, the card is nice. It's going in for our grading. I got to take a look at the lines, though. I think it could get a 9 OC or an 8, possibly with no qualifiers. If the lines don't count. The lines count, not so much. Then last but certainly not least, I think the best looking sticker is the Tusken Raider. It's a little bit high. Well, it's not a little bit high. It's a lot high. But let's see the surface. It says $6. What do you think? Should you pay $6 for this? I would. It's in really good condition. Maybe a little bit of a notch right there. See that little whiting right there? But man, it is way up top to bottom. going in. Again, I got to take a look at those lines. I don't know if this guy might have put like rubber bands around it when he was a kid, or his dad did or something. He was young, a lot younger than I was. He was about 25 years old, the guy that I met today. Anyway, here we go, guys. Let's take a look at what we're sending in to get graded, possibly. I already sent my PSA thing, and I still haven't sent in the still have these SGCs that I haven't sent in. But yeah, we're gonna send in the number 2 card, C3PO and R2D2. Sale on droids. Again, it has a little fisheye. Has maybe one thing, but it's got really good corners and it's got good centering. So we're going to keep that one, try to get an 8 on it. Stormtroopers Attack has got really nice surface on it. Got good centering. So I think that one might get a 9. I think I said on that one 13. No, 42. 42, I said an 8. Number 9, I thought was going to be an 8 as well. Had some surface issues. Number 45, I thought would be a 9. I think the only problem we have is this top left corner. I think I just did that, actually. Might knock me all the way down. Top left corner is going to crush us. What did I do? What did I do? Obi-Wan! Tex, I am your papa. Still think it might be a 9. I'd blast it. We'll take a look at it. If it doesn't sell well in an 8, then we're not going to do it. All right. Number 47, we thought would be a 7. So I'm going to take a look at it as 7 and a 6. I did use too much force. Actually, Tex, that might be your best one you've had in a while. I haven't been on in a while, but it's the best one you've had in a while. This one, number 52, I thought would be a 8. So we'll take a look at it in an 8 and then a 7. And then I want to take a look at these. Just they're graded. I think this in a 6 is actually even better than selling it raw. So, and then this one I think will probably go for a 7. And that one will probably go for an 8. So I think it's 6, 7, 8 is what I'm thinking. So probably get all these graded. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. Got to find 10 more cards to get graded. We got some other things we're going to get this weekend. I got a basketball thing I'm going to pick up this weekend, so that should be fun. Let's go ahead and put this one in the front so it'll kind of end up that way. I think that's probably going to be our best. I think it'll be our best number-wise just because it's a nice-looking card or a big card in the set. But anyway, yeah, the stickers and SGC would look great too. I just got to take a look. I got to do a little bit more research on it. But I just wanted to show you guys what I got today. I'll give you guys a couple of mail day updates whenever I get a bunch of stuff in. I think about at least 10 cards. I'll show you a little mail day update. Just to kind of hang out a little bit. Hope y'all are doing well. Tex, good to see you, brother. Again, I'll try to get the large and out as quick as possible. You don't have to pay for it until you get it. It is yours. But I move on Friday, and I got 6 recruits coming in tomorrow. So Thursday and Friday, I'll be doing a bunch of moving. And then Saturday and Sunday and Monday, I have a 3-day tournament on reffing and recruiting. So it's probably not going to be until probably 2 weeks until you get it. But, hey, it's the thought that counts. Tex, hope you're doing well. Hope you guys are doing well. Be blessed. Be great to people. Love your neighbor. I don't know. I need to have a little catchphrase other than I love you. Love it when you call me Big Papa. But we're working on it. Guys, we'll be back on draft night. So if you're around on draft night, we'll have plenty of 2023 football stuff. We'll have some Bowman U stuff. We'll have some singles from some of the guys that are getting drafted. Caleb Williams auto, Drake May auto, stuff like that. And then for you guys that like high-end stuff, I think I'm going to get 2 big, like Optic or Prism. I don't know if Optic's going to be out by then, but Prism hobby boxes or Obsidian hobby boxes. Let me know if you want something, but we're going to try to get started back in May and do this thing 2 or 3 nights a week and get back rocking and rolling with some ripping. So I hope you guys are well. Draft night it's right down there, brother. It is that day right there, 4/25/24. So on April 25th, we will be back up and rocking and rolling. We'll be doing some ripping. Hopefully, I'll have access back to my Facebook ad account, which is the thing that's been keeping us from making any money and having people here. I'll probably put one together on eBay for a break as well, get a bunch of people in. We'll have some fun, man. We're going to get back rocking and rolling in May at the end of April. So until then, I wish you the best. Tex, have a good one, brother. Keep working on that weed. The weeds. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Peace.